What if everything you thought you knew about Europe's wealth was wrong? For centuries, we've been told stories of innovation and hard work. But the true source of Europe's immense riches lies hidden in plain sight. Today, we expose the silenced chapters of history that reveal the real origins of their prosperity. Let's talk about the grand illusion. Conventional narratives. We've all heard the story. Europe rose to greatness because of the Renaissance, the scientific revolution, and the Enlightenment. Brilliance, innovation, and grit. That's what textbooks celebrate. And yes, Europe made undeniable contributions to science, art, and philosophy. But here's the uncomfortable question. Was that really enough to create the vast fortunes that transformed tiny kingdoms into global empires? The truth is, no. Behind the polished story of enlightenment lies a shadow economy, one built not in Europe, but on the backs of colonized peoples and stolen resources. From the 15th century onwards, European ships sailed not only for discovery, but for plunder: gold from West Africa, silver from the Americas, timber, ivory, spices, and later rubber and cocoa. Entire continents were treated as Europe's private supply chain. These raw materials didn't just fill treasure chests. They built industries, funded wars, and financed the rise of banking systems. While Europe industrialized, the colonies were systematically drained. Wealth flowed out, but little, if anything, was invested back. But resources alone weren't enough. Who would mine the gold? Harvest the sugar? Pick the cotton? The answer was human exploitation on a scale the world had never seen. The transatlantic slave trade shipped over 12 million Africans across the ocean. Millions more died in transit or under brutal conditions. This wasn't just a dark chapter. It was the economic engine of Europe's rise. Enslaved African labor fueled plantations in the Americas, which in turn fed European markets with unimaginable profits. Slavery wasn't a side note. It was central. It turned ports like Liverpool, Nantes, and Lisbon into global trade hubs. It built palaces, banks, and industries that still stand today. Colonialism sealed the deal. By conquering vast territories, Europe controlled not just resources, but also markets. Colonies were forced to sell raw goods cheaply to Europe, then buy back finished products at new inflated prices. It was a one-way system, wealth flowing in, poverty flowing out. This wasn't just exploitation. It was economic engineering. Trade routes, currencies, even borders were redrawn to serve Europe's prosperity. The imbalance created then still shapes the global economy today. Fast forward to now, many African nations are still recovering from centuries of extraction and structural inequality. The so-called aid given today is often dwarfed by the wealth that left, and continues to leave, the continent. Discussions about reparations, debt cancellation, and fair trade aren't about rewriting history. They're about correcting its consequences. Europe's wealth didn't just come from brilliance within. It came from brilliance exploited without. And until we recognize that, we'll keep repeating the same cycles of inequality. So, next time someone praises Europe's wealth as the fruit of innovation alone, remember the gold mines of West Africa, the plantations of the Caribbean, and the millions of African lives consumed by empire. History isn't just about what happened. It's about who tells the story. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Europe should be held accountable today for the fortunes it built on Africa's back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's start the conversation that history tried to silence.